Ever heard of a lie so big it could topple a multi-billion-dollar giant? Well, let me take you back to 2002, to the story of Worldcom, a company that orchestrated one of the largest corporate frauds in American history. At its peak, Worldcom was a titan, the second-largest long-distance phone company in the United States, right behind AT&T. It seemed unstoppable, gobbling up competitors left and right, with its charismatic CEO Bernie Ebbers at the helm. He was the picture of success, often seen in his signature cowboy boots and bolo tie. But behind this folksy image, a financial catastrophe was brewing. The late 1990s were a boom time for telecom, but by the early 2000s the dot-com bubble had burst, and the industry was struggling. WorldCom's revenue started to flatline, which was a huge problem for a company whose stock price depended on constant, spectacular growth. Wall Street expected big numbers, and Bernie Ebbers was determined to deliver them, even if they weren't real. So, how did they do it? This is where the scandal gets wild. They used two simple, yet devastatingly effective, accounting tricks. First, they started classifying their operating expenses as capital investments. Now, what does that mean? Imagine you run a coffee shop. The money you spend on coffee beans and paying your baristas every month are operating expenses. The money you spend on a brand new espresso machine is a capital investment. By pretending their regular day-to-day costs were long-term investments, WorldCom could spread those costs out over many years on their books. This simple switch magically inflated their profits on paper. In 2001 alone, they improperly capitalized over $3.8 billion in this way. Their second trick involved boosting their revenue with fake accounting entries. They would create entries with vague descriptions like corporate unallocated revenue accounts. In reality, this was just money created out of thin air to make their income statements look healthier than they were. The company was essentially lying about both its expenses and its income. It was a house of cards, built on a foundation of pure fiction. So who uncovered this massive fraud? It wasn't the SEC or a team of high-powered Wall Street analysts. It was a small group of internal auditors at WorldCom, led by a woman named Cynthia Cooper. They worked in secret, often late at night, digging through the company's financial systems. They knew they were risking their careers, but they couldn't ignore the red flags. They discovered billions of dollars in bogus entries. When they finally presented their findings to the board in June 2002, the game was up. The truth exploded into the public eye, and the fallout was immediate and catastrophic. The scale of the fraud was staggering, over $11 billion in fraudulent bookkeeping. WorldCom's stock, which had once traded at over $60 a share, became worthless practically overnight. The company filed for what was then the largest bankruptcy in U.S. history. Thousands of employees lost their jobs and their life savings, which were tied up in company stock. Investors lost billions. The CEO, Bernie Ebbers, was sentenced to 25 years in prison for his role in the fraud. The CFO, Scott Sullivan, who cooperated with prosecutors, received a 5-year sentence. The WorldCom scandal, along with the Enron collapse around the same time, sent shockwaves through the business world. It led to the landmark Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, a sweeping set of regulations designed to improve corporate accountability and prevent this kind of fraud from ever happening again. It's a powerful reminder that in the world of finance, if something looks too good to be true, it probably is. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history's biggest events. See you in the next video.